Tonight we are playing Linx, which is a 2 to 4 player game, probably best at 2, where you're playing paper, scissors, rock meets noughts and crosses on little cards, little tiles. You're placing them down to try and get 3 in a row, and that's either on the face-up side, which has the paper, scissors, rock, or on the face-down side, which has your symbol on it. I'm very happy to be joined by Terry Taylor, who is a painter and also an art teacher. Terry, we're going to start off, I'm grabbing 3 tiles, you're grabbing 4.
Okay, sure.
And we'll start playing. Can you tell me a little bit about your career as a painter?
I was told that I was born with a pencil in my hand, so it was very natural for me. And I think I can do that.
You
yes.
You can.
Okay, all right. It was very natural for me. It's like breathing. And I continued making drawings and little paintings, primary school, secondary school, knew what I wanted to do. I wanted to be an artist from the age of 7. And I actually said to my parents at that time, I said, I'm going to be an artist. And now being fairly long in the tooth I am, and that's sort of my journey. And I've thoroughly, look, I mean, it's something that I hold very precious to me, that I am able to depict people as skulls and skeletons in a particular way, referring to the fragility of our world. And that's so ingrained in me now that if I don't paint most days, I feel a bit strange, a bit spacey in the head. You don't want to talk to me, Liam. I'd probably be a bit grumpy. It was Sam who actually said to me one day coming back from, I think he was in grade 1, and he said, Mum, why don't you teach my friends painting and drawing? And I thought, oh, that's actually quite a good idea. I said, oh, thank you, Sam. And overnight I was sort of quite excited because I thought, yes, I can do this. It's a way forward. And I've always been a solo player, so to speak. Speaking of which, is it your turn?
It is my turn.
Oh, right, I'll go there. And I've always been a solo, oops, sorry, I picked up 3.
Sorry.
I've always been a solo player, meaning I prefer to have control of my time, which I'm very, efficient. And it was an exciting part where I could create my own business too. Very small at first. I think I had 5 students to begin with. But it was wonderful because I opened up my studio. They got to see me as a fine artist, and I got to guide them and to teach them techniques and understanding of perspective and proportion and shape and space from my university time, which gave them a huge insight into what they could do. And that self-confidence was just to see their smiles was just wonderful. So anyway, art school was established in 1995, and next year will be the 30th year, which is really fabulous. I'm in a new location. I'm no longer in my previous studio, and I'm teaching close to 50 students a week, 4 times a week, and all the other times, so that's sort of in the afternoons. And I've always maintained that timetable, weekly timetable, so it's 3 times during the week in the late afternoon, and then on the Saturday afternoon. So I was able to all other times be in the studio making work because of exhibitions. And the exhibitions in Melbourne I've exhibited every year pretty much since the age of 25. I don't know, I've had over 32 solo exhibitions, and I think 75 up plus group exhibitions. So it's been solid and ongoing, and it still is that way.
Well, I guess that raises a question is, you've talked about sort of part of the sort of fulfillment and joy you get in teaching, especially children, so that's sort of seeing that perspective and those new ideas and new ability to sort of appear as you're teaching them. But is there and you talked about your both solo and group exhibition work, is there a reality of, in Australia, being a fine artist or a painter, that you do need something else realistically beyond just your art to make a living?
I think most artists do need that. The successes of having sell-out shows are rare. And if it does happen, it might happen once. Look, ideally it'd be wonderful if it happened every single year, because then you could actually make an income. That's pretty rare for most artists. If it happens once, then it might happen, in the next 5 years, or it might happen in the next 10 years. There is no guarantee at all. It also too depends on the support of the gallery that you have, and the gallery system. Oh goodness, that's changed a lot over my time as a student up until now, and most artists usually, they've got to rent the space, and the commission is still high, so you're talking 50% now. So they're making the paintings, they're having them framed, they're paying the rent for the space, you do the calculations, and if they have a sell-out show, that's not really going to even cover the cost. So it's a hard journey. It's where having my art school has enabled me to pay the bills, which is great, and also to pay for my very expensive habit of buying beautiful art materials to make high quality paintings. Why skulls, Terry? Why? Ooh, it's a bit spooky. And I go, you've got one. They are here. That's the structure of your head.
Well, that's always the interesting thing I've found over the years of your work is I think on the surface, it's incredibly striking with its use of colour, and obviously the skulls themselves can feel at a surface level quite macabre. But I think there's also some of the subject matter where it is portraiture, it is looking at the figures and their story, that there is a lot of love and warmth as well with that goes hand in hand with that macabre sort of skulls. And
well, look, I mean, life and death are sort of, yes, that's on the same line. And I do have a tendency to see people as bones.
Okay, yeah.
I have a lot of fun in the supermarket or on the train. Mind you, I don't advertise. I don't have skull scarves. I don't do that because once I start looking at people, I tend to stare, which is why I have knitting. And so I'm this little lady holding her knitting needles, going very fast and up and down looks at people and working out their bone structure.
Look, Terry, we've got distracted from the game, and that's okay. We only just started, but we'll call it a tie for the game of Linx.
Sure.
But thank you for coming down and chatting about your work, both in painting, but also your work in the art school. Terry, thank you very much for coming down.
Thank you, Liam, very much. Bye-bye.
Bye.